In the headlines, Tropical Storm Dorian upgraded to a hurricane Wednesday afternoon. The United States pledges support to Dominica's post-Maria rebuilding efforts. And opposition leader urges government to invest in alternative health facilities as the North awaits construction of the Marigot Hospital. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Dorian is now officially a hurricane as it churns in the Caribbean Sea. At 2 p.m., the storm's winds were 75 miles per hour and was moving northwest at 13 miles per hour. There have been warnings for South Florida to continue to watch Dorian, with some credible models bringing it too close for comfort. The odds of a strong hurricane hitting Florida, Georgia, and possibly the Carolinas are increasing. Dorian has also impacted the Virgin Islands and eastern Puerto Rico. Forecasters warn heavy rain could cause landslides, heavy flooding, and power outages in Puerto Rico, still recovering from Hurricane Maria almost 2 years later. In other top stories, United States Ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean has pledged her country's support to Dominica's post-Maria rebuilding efforts. Linda Tagliatella was on island recently for the swearing-in of 7 Peace Corps volunteers. This is the first contingent to be sworn in since the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017. The volunteers are scheduled to help the literacy programs in schools over the next 2 years. Tagliatella says the presence of Peace Corps volunteers has the potential to deepen the relationship between Dominica and the United States of America.
I spend a lot of time working with the government and with private sector and civil society, but it's the Peace Corps volunteers who actually show what America's all about firsthand on the ground. And I think that the more people that get to understand our country and the more Americans that get to understand what it's like to live on an island in the Caribbean, the better our relationships are. I'm sure you're aware that there's a large diaspora of Dominicans in the United States, and to perpetuate that exchange of culture, education, and in just basic general environment is a wonderful thing for everybody. So I'm hoping that, yes, as representatives of their country, they will deepen our relationship.
The ambassador is impressed with Dominica's progress since the storm and pledged her country's further support where needed.
I was here 3 days after the hurricane and actually took the road back to the airport and saw the incredible devastation that was done to Dominica. The island has become beautiful and lush. It's gone back to its beautiful greenery, and it's looking very healthy from an environmental standpoint. I know that it has to be an undaunting challenge to get an island back up and running. Here in Dominica, the entire island was devastated. And to take a small country and rely on the resources and rely on international support to help, it really is a challenge for the government. And I know that they have worked very hard to make a difference. I have seen, a lot of change as far as, downtown is bustling again. People are out enjoying Dominica. And I know there's still places that need help, but I think that they've come a long ways. They still have some things to do, and the United States is here to help them as we can.
In more developments, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition has issued another call to government to move quickly to address the inadequacy in health facilities in the Marigot, Woodford Hill, Wesley area. Mr. Linton, accompanied by other members of the opposition, outlined his concerns in a Facebook video which captured a recent visit to the Wesley Health Center. Mr. Linton said, speaking as a parliamentary representative for Marigot, the situation is unacceptable.
What is going on with this government and the health care of the people in the Northeast? Today I call on them again. Today I call on the Minister for Health. You need to act urgently. You need to act urgently in the interest of the health care and the health services to be provided to the people of this area. Marigot, Wesley, Woodford Hill, the Carib Territory, the Northeast Health District in general. We need urgent attention. We proposed to the government in the early part of this year a clinic in the can solution that would provide individual units for not a whole set of money. A couple $1 million could give us all of what we needed to ensure that proper services and a proper facility for providing the services are available to the people of the Northeast District, especially the Marigot, Wesley. The government has done absolutely nothing. Now they're telling us that they're going to start construction of a hospital in Marigot. But we have told them, even while the hospital is being constructed, there is need for health care, and we're calling on the government again. Please pay attention to this crisis that is developing in the health care of the Northeast District. Please, we're begging you. You have the money, do it.
The opposition leader also expressed concern about what he says are preventable deaths. Government recently announced that the construction of the Marigot Hospital would go ahead with funds from the Citizenship by Investment program. There has also been indication that work will begin sometime this year. During his recent launching, DLP candidate for Marigot, Gregory Rivera, said he had received assurance from the Prime Minister that the Marigot Hospital would be built. In more news, the DLP candidate for Roseau Central and wife of the Prime Minister has posted another message on Facebook since her first response to businessman Herbert Suki Winston. Julian Morris has that story.
In an earlier Facebook post, Mrs. Skerritt said her family and close business affiliates had taken a decision to boycott Suki's bread and gas in retaliation for statements he made on radio regarding her husband, in which Mr. Winston also appeared to question her qualifications. In Mrs. Skerritt's latest post, which does have a much softer tone, she says, "While I remain alarmed and unconcerned at the completely false attack on me by Mr. Herbert Winston, I believe that I should not have spoken of or called for my personal thoughts and belief not to continue shopping at his businesses. Please note, regardless of the spin, I never called for nor advocated for a boycott of Mr. Winston by the public. This does not, however, mean there must not be consequences for irresponsible, false or malicious speech." The post goes on to say the consequences, if any, must be a matter of conscience and for the people to decide on election day. I therefore retract my post and ask that my publication of my personal thoughts and belief be completely disregarded. In conclusion, I hope that those who sought to spin my words for purely political purposes will ask Mr. Winston to apologize publicly for the very false allegations he made against me.
You're watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
ki ni TB estene e ben tousse, moun ki an bonne santé oli wen ka respire se vermine lan. Moun ki pa ni bon tempérament kon sa ki ni maladie HIV, alcool, ka fumer, ti mamay e grand moun bien sensible pour ces maladies ça là. Moun ki ka tousse ni pou prendre précaution le yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvert bouche ou le ka estene tousse. Visiter docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joindre guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout de maladie TB et HIV. Protéger corps et les autres.
Helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Welcome back. Dominica's youth have come under high praise for their role in preserving the country's Creole heritage. Dominica recently wrapped up a country conference organized by the University of the West Indies, which was held under the theme Creole as Cultural Heritage, Framing, Strengthening and Advocating. Senior lecturer at the University of Bedfordshire in the United Kingdom, Violet Coffey, who is Dominican and spearheading this move, says the level of participation by Dominica's youth in preserving the Creole heritage for future generations is commendable.
What we're looking is how in this juncture that we need to frame our intangible heritage, how do we strengthen it, and how do we further advocate for the needs of this current era. We know that even with the young people, they spoke a lot about modernization. One of the young people say modernization is a thing, so we can't ignore it. So we really need to be looking at how best we frame what this heritage really means for us as a people, how do we strengthen the traditions that we've had, and how do we embrace the changes and the shifts and the evolutions that we're seeing. We focus on the youth and their understanding of the Creole heritage, how much they know about it. It was amazing to see how many of them are actually involved in some of the competitions and supporting the contestants for, say, the Miss Warp and teenage pageants and Team Matador. So we had a really rich group of persons with us.
Coffey also pointed to 4 key areas which were highlighted during the conference where the Creole heritage can and should be further showcased and developed.
They too really spoke more directly to the current situation in Dominica and the interests of the Dominican stakeholders on the 4 main themes. We looked at Creole in education, Creole culture and the performing arts. We also had Creole in the media and then Creole tourism destinations and festivals. And we really zone in on all these sectors in the Dominica scenario, where we are now, where we've been, what we would like to see happen in the future.
And the town of Portsmouth has stepped up its game in transforming trash into cash. Julian Morris has more.
This as the Plastic Recycle Centre, supported by the Rotary Club of Portsmouth, looks to grow its operations. The centre had started off as Recycle Rebuild shortly after Hurricane Maria, with the primary objective of ridding the environment of recyclable plastics. Manager of the Plastic Recycle Centre, Ashton Revere, says while the centre has been well received by the public, there are still obstacles to overcome.
The biggest challenge is due to improper disposal of the waste. So persons litter, and then you have to have another person to go pick it up and then bring it to the facility. And then because it's thrown into the environment, it's dirty, and then you have to wash it, sort it, and all of that. But if we could get people to dispose of plastics properly and then probably bring them into the facility directly, then that contamination that you get when it's thrown into the environment would not happen. It makes the job much easier.
The recyclable plastics are converted into several items which can be sold to visitors and locals.
This keyring says Dominican made. As you can see, it's a Dominican map, and that is HDPE plastics, which is the bottle caps that you use. This one is an earring that is made from the plastic cups and this type of plastic plates. Yeah, so this plastic plate could probably make a couple earrings. So instead of disposing it in the trash, you bring it here and then we can turn it into something like this. I was mentioning the process of sorting and cleaning the plastics. After we do that, it is shredded, and then we put it through a machine which melts it, and then we extrude it into a mold which gives you this product.
According to Revere, conversations have been held with the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, the Vendors Association and the Discover Dominica Authority on how to better market these locally made recycled products. Currently, 2 individuals are employed at the center. The facility is also open to entrepreneurs and other interested individuals.
Thus far, I must say there are some young entrepreneurs especially who have taken up the challenge and are bringing in their plastic bottles. And there are some individuals also who collect plastic bottles at their homes and bring it into the facility. We encourage internships, so we have had interns from SALT, that's a dive operation in Tukari. And if you were to go on Facebook, you would see a lot of information on SALT and the wonderful work that they are doing in doing environmental cleanups and environmental awareness and all of that. It's a fantastic operation.
The RCP Plastic Recycling Center is located on the corner of Rodney Street and Granby Street in Portsmouth.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Tropical storm Dorian upgraded to a hurricane Wednesday afternoon. The United States pledges support to Dominica's post-Maria rebuilding efforts. And the opposition leader urges government to move quickly to invest in alternative health facilities as the North awaits construction of the Marigot Hospital. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Luby, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.